Can this former president of Honduras go back to Honduras?
He can go back. The current government will have him arrested because Honduras is under the control of the Libre Party, which is a sort of center-left social democratic party that Donald Trump wants to oust. So you brought up Emile Beauvais, top Trump loyalist in the federal judiciary. He's had to basically keep his head down and say nothing about this pardon, because this pardon was very important for geostrategic reasons and reasons of just sheer plunder and profit for top Trump associates who are really running this administration. And this is extremely humiliating for Emile Beauvais. So, I could criticize him endlessly, but his indictment of Juan Orlando Hernandez was excellent and extremely detailed. We covered it at the time at the Gray Zone. It's shocking. It's not just shipping drugs to the U.S. It's mass murder across Honduras, destabilizing his own country, institutionalizing the drug trade, taking the concept of the cartel beyond the corporation into the transformation of a kind of federal constitutional republic into a drug trafficking organization. That's what Juan Orlando did. And today the conspiracy continues. Trump's associates are conspiring with Juan Orlando's National Party to rig the Honduran election, which just took place. The reason they had to pardon Juan Orlando Hernandez was, number one, to clean up the image of the National Party, which had been completely tainted through his presidency and the corruption. And number two, to embolden the MS-13 cartels, which still hold substantial power in the streets of Honduras. During this election that just took place, after Trump threatened the Honduran public with destroying their economy unless they elected Tito Asfora, who is Juan Orlando's successor from the National Party, 900 emergency calls were made by common Honduran citizens claiming they had been threatened with death by MS-13 gang members if they did not vote for Asfora. So this is what's happening on the ground, and it corresponds with the Trumpist conspiracy to rig the election. That's in addition to the fact that 15% of ballots have been found to be invalid or contain irregularities, and the Central Election Council has not been able to remediate these ballots or explain this at all. And so the ruling party in Honduras, which officially lost the election, is invalidating election results as the result of this interference by cartels and Trump. And I haven't even gotten to the money men around Trump and what their interest is in Honduras.
So I can't, if I ask you who won the election, it is not knowable at this point because of the 15% invalid ballots.
I think the interesting part is that the Libre Party, which Trump and the Gusano industrial complex in South Florida is denouncing as communists, they're not even claiming victory. They're saying that another candidate named Salvador Nasrallah, who's a very popular broadcaster, won, and he was running neck and neck with Asfora. He's a pro-U.S. candidate, but they're saying that he won and the election was stolen from him, and it very likely was by Trump and his associates in Honduras through intimidation, threats, and there's this other little angle, which I think, it really cuts to the heart of the corruption that defines Donald Trump's golden age or gelded age. It's this little island off Honduras called Roatan, which is sort of a popular vacation place. And under Juan Orlando Hernandez, they tried to turn it into a sovereign economic zone called Prospera, which, many libertarians might say, oh, that sounds good. But it just became a place for a zone of money laundering, of cartel corruption. And so the following government that came in under Xiomara Castro began to shut it down. And now Prospera, the corporation, is suing the Honduran government for $10 billion, which is 1/3 of its entire GDP. And who's invested in Prospera? Marc Andreessen and Peter Thiel are the top investors, and they're also two of the top funders of Trump Incorporated. And they've been using figures like Roger Stone as their hitmen